Welcome back to another video. It's Seth here. Today we'll be talking about if you should buy a property in 2025. This seems to be a topic that most individuals that I know are talking about right now. Also, I've seen other people make videos on this topic as well, so I thought why not provide my own opinion on this topic as well. Before I dive deeper into this video, please hit the like button down below, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to help grow our channel. Now that you hit the like button, let's dive in. We are all aware of the crazy interest rate hikes that took place in the last few years. The central bank raised interest 10 times between March 2022 to July 2023, bringing the benchmark rate to 5% from 0.25% in Canada. In the US, we saw something very similar. We saw 11 raises where the federal fund rate went from 0.25% all the way to 5.5%. These interest rate hikes were done to help slow down inflation, which is being caused by the overprinting of money when all those COVID stimulus were given out. Essentially, before 2022, when the interest rates were so low, everyone wanted to get their hands on that cheap money. With the interest rate being low, a lot more people were getting approved for mortgages, and there was low inventory of properties that were on sale. This caused property prices to skyrocket. Now, fast forwarding to 2023, when the interest rate were at its peak, people thought there would be a crash in the real estate market. However, house price growth remained at 2.91%, but there was only a slight decrease of 0.47% in real terms. So there wasn't as big of a drop as people thought there would be. And now people are paying way more for their properties because they are paying a higher interest rate to the bank. If you don't understand how the higher interest impacts your total payment on the house, let me give you an example. So let's say during the peak of the interest, you bought a house that was $600,000. During the peak, people were getting approved for mortgages well over the 7% mark. So we'll use 7% for our example. 20% down payment on a $600,000 home means that you'll need to get a mortgage for $480,000. So that mortgage of $480,000 at 7%, it would mean that your monthly mortgage payment would be $3,161.30. In my opinion, that's very expensive for most individuals to afford. Now, with a mortgage of $480,000 with a 7% interest, it would mean that the total payment to the bank would be $1,138,066.51, meaning that you would have paid $480,000 of your principal plus $658,066.51 just in interest. Now let's see what happens when the interest rate drops by just 1%. Now, using the same example, purchasing a home for $600,000 and having the $480,000 as your mortgage, we will have an interest rate of 6%. Your monthly mortgage payment is $2,855.15, meaning that's a drop of $306.15 just because the interest rate dropped by 1%. Now, your total payments to the bank over a 30-year period would be $1,027,854.87. Now, that brings your total payment down by $110,211.64. Now, you would have paid that $480,000 of principal back plus $547,854.87 in interest. So that difference of over $110,000 is a lot for most individuals. Most people in North America don't even make $100,000 in a year. So this would be game changing for a lot of people. Now this leads us to the discussion of what is happening with the interest rates today. As we discussed, interest rates were increased to slow down inflation from the overprinting of money. It is now being reported that inflation has come under 1.6%, which is below the goal of Bank of Canada of 2%. We're already seeing reductions in interest rates from both Bank of Canada and the Federal Reserve. We've even seen big banks like TD Bank and CIBC predicting that there will be additional 175 basis point reduction in interest by the end of 2025, which would lower the overnight interest to 2.75%. There was some criticism to this prediction. Most people are saying that the bank's analysis might be too aggressive. And I do agree with that. The banks might be a little too aggressive in saying that the interest rate might fall that much that quick. But we also never expect the interest rate to go up that quick either. I personally do think these predictions are a bit aggressive, but I do agree that interest rates will keep dropping in 2025, meaning that if you were thinking about purchasing a property, this could really impact your decision. So I know now most of you guys are thinking that, should I buy or should I wait? So let's talk about some points and what you could expect if you were to buy a property today. As interest rates decline, you're most likely to face more competition as more buyers will flood the market. So if you were to go out right now and purchase a property at this moment, you'll probably have less competition, meaning you could secure your dream home without competing against a lot of other buyers. If you purchase a home today, you will start building equity today as well. Rather than timing the market, you'll build equity in the long run. One downside is that you'd be buying a house at a higher interest rate. This would mean that you'd be paying bank way more in interest than someone who had purchased a home at a lower interest rate. So what it really means is it might leave you with a little less cash in your pocket. So now let's look at some points in purchasing a home in 2025 or later. So the first point is quite obvious, you guys probably guessed it, that you'd get a lower interest rate. The Bank of Canada and Federal Reserve keep cutting interest rates. You will secure a lower interest, meaning that you'll pay way less in interest to the bank, saving you upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on how expensive the house you're looking to buy. But this leads to the second point, that more people will be flooding the market to purchase a home as more people are being qualified. So as there's more buyers in the market, this might actually increase the price of properties. So now the savings that you were getting from the reduction of the interest rate are being offset by the increase in the price of homes. Now this brings to the third point that might actually help you out. We have seen some sellers being hesitant in terms of selling their home. If they see that there's more buyers in the market, there may be a chance that the inventory grows, so that might help to reduce some of the price of the homes. But I do think there might be a slight increase with lower interest rate increasing the value of homes and there being more buyers. But if you were to ask me how much would the prices of homes increase by, I really don't know, and I don't think anyone really knows. So I'll give you my personal opinion. There's a lot of people trying to time the market. There's a lot of people predicting what's going to happen. But the truth is, no one knows anything. No one knows what will happen to the housing market. No one knows what happens to the stock market. No one knows anything until it actually happens. So the answer to should I buy or should I wait, it's different for everyone. And it depends on your personal circumstances. Myself personally, currently I'm not married. I do not have kids. Personally, I'm going to see where the interest rates go and how the housing market turns out. That way, I have more time to save more money and to buy more properties in the long run. But if you're someone who's married or who's in a couple, you most likely have dual income. And that may mean that you have already saved a lot of money to purchase a property. And you may want to move on to the next stage of your life. So in that case, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go out there and purchase a property now before more buyers enter the market, causing more competition. This way, you'll be able to secure your dream home without going into a bidding war. If you're purchasing a home for the long run, you'll be fine. But if you're looking to flip a house real quick in this market, I don't really know how that will work out. Also, if you had purchased a home with higher interest rates, you can always refinance to get a lower interest rate and reduce your payments. So I thought I would make a video and provide my opinion on this. I hope this video helped you out a little bit in terms of deciding if you want to wait or if you want to purchase a property now. I hope you guys stay tuned for future videos. And until next time, remember to keep investing.